Aloha. Let's go through how to fill out this profile. For the profile activity, you purchased a whole bunch of videos. You purchased a whole bunch of businesses. Let's see, a total of 14, and at different dates and different purchase prices. When you purchase these you your business decision was to put 40% down and borrow 60% of the rest at a 15-year mortgage with monthly payments. So let's figure out if these businesses were profitable for you this year in question or not. And let's go ahead and start working on this. And just for starters, I know this is going to be an easy formula, so I might as well pick the low-hanging fruit first. I'm going to sum up all of these. Use a sum formula. Now that I have that formula in there, I'm going to copy this over. And I know I'm probably going to want a couple decimals in here. I don't know if you don't need those, but it might be handy. Okay, so now we've got the first formula set up. Let's figure out how we are going to determine our monthly payment. So if you're borrowing 60% of the purchase price at an interest rate that depends on the year, and we want to figure out the monthly payment, that should be enough information to input what we need. Monthly payment, we use the payment function equals PMT. The interest rate we want is, let's see, if we're 2015, we want this interest rate. And we could use that, but we could also write a little formula that will give that for us. So I'm going to write a formula, and we'll look that up with a VLOOKUP formula. And the value we're going to look up is the year. So we have the purchase date, but that's the date format. So you want to extract just the year. You use a formula called year. That will extract just the year. Year of that. So now that we look at the year, we're in the VLOOKUP formula. We're looking at the table array from columns L and M, and it's the second line. False. Okay, so now we have the interest rate. That will give us interest rate of the and our payment function. We're compounding monthly, so we take the interest rate and divide it by 12. And if it's 15 years, we want to do 15 times 12. Or you could just put in 180. Comes to the same thing. And what is the purchase? What is the present value? Well, if you're paying down 40%, you only need to borrow 60% of the price of the business. So I'm going to put in 60% times the purchase price. And I think I need a negative in there somewhere. The 60% of the purchase price. So our monthly obligation is going to be that amount. Then copy it all the way down. If you're making this monthly payment, that means for an entire year, you take that amount, you multiply by 12. Now I'm just going to copy that down. Let me show you how I did that. There's a little green box. When I mouse over it, it turns into a plus sign. If I double click, it will copy that all the way down. Now I give this our total annual payments. We have some costs that were incurred, and we can find those in the account payables. There's actually a couple ways that we can do this. One way is we can use a sum-if formula, and I'll do that, but then I'll show you the other way, which I think is a little bit easier. I guess either one will work. The sum-if, the way it works is you look at the range, and so we're looking at costs. So that would be payables. The range of businesses, that's column B. The criteria we're using is that cell right there. And the part that we are summing is column D, account payables. And that will give it to us. And then we can copy this all the way down. That's one way to do this. You can also just use a pivot table. I'm going to come over here click on insert, pivot table, click on the range of data. Then we want to put this in an account table of H3. It looks like a good place. And for this one, we want the business and the payment amount. And so I drop the business into the rows section of the pivot table. And I look over here and I make sure that says sum of amount. If it doesn't say sum of amount, I can fix that by clicking on the little thing on the right for the value field settings, and I can make sure that says sum. Okay, so now we have all of our amount. I'm just going to format this. Not that it's necessary, but I'd like to keep things in a format that I can understand. Okay, so the sales, that was account payable. These are in order, sequential order. So really, I could just say equals and drop that right here, and then copy that all the way down. And that will give me, let's see, I believe that will give me what I do. Oh, no, it won't. Look at that. It gives me get pivot table now. I can do that. I can do that for each individual one, but I can just use, I can just use the VLOOKUP formula. I'll use that. VLOOKUP. And we are looking up the business, and we're going to do the whole range of H and I. And it's a second value has the financial information. And I'll copy that all the way down. Now I have all of the costs associated with each of the firms, each of the businesses in my portfolio. Sales tax. Well, that we need to extract from the receipts. So we have our sales in here, which has all of the sales that we received for each business. I'm going to make another pivot table. That way I can pull this information over here. Insert pivot table. And there's my table. And when I selected that, I held on to the shift and control. And when I tap to the right and tap down, and I've selected the entire workbook, starting from the upper left-hand corner. We put this into this existing worksheet and we sell G2 that looks fine. Click on the pivot table, and I want businesses, and I click on business. Let's see if I do that. Oh, automatically pops it into the rows. If it didn't, then you can move these around. But you want the businesses in the rows. And put sales into value, sum of sales. Beautiful. And I'm going to do just a bit. Currency. That's nice. Okay, now we have the receipts for each of the businesses. And so in sales, I'm going to come over here with the receipts. I'll put on the VLOOKUP formula. And that is this business right here. GH. This gives me what the receipt says. I still need to calculate the sales tax because this amount includes the sales tax. And one way you can think about this is we have, with the sales tax, this is 104% of it. And so we want to figure out how much sales tax we need to send to Honolulu. And we'll use an Excel, we'll create an Excel formula. So we're going to do that. If we take this amount divided by 104.5%, because sales tax on Oahu is 4.5%. That means that was the amount of sales without the sales tax. So we wanted to have the sales tax not to take a difference between the two. We take the receipts minus, and then the pre-sales tax amount, which is that would be the 195,000 divided by 104.5%. click on that, and that means the sales tax obligation from business A that used to be remitted to the capital $8,425.52. Almost $130,000. Now, when I've had businesses and I've remitted sales tax, I usually rounded that up. And if you audited, you might wonder why you're not paying enough. Anyways, that's yeah, I just rounded up by $1. I figured paying the extra 2 cents will hopefully save me a bunch of fines later on. It's the profit amount that we have. The profit is all of the revenue minus the costs. And so to calculate that, we have the receipts that we received, and then we had to minus, I'm just going to do some formula. You can do these individually. We have the loan service amount, which is in column E. Bunch of costs. That's when you're paying your sales rep, you're paying all sorts of people for different things. And the sales tax, these are things from all the money that came in that you take out before, and whatever is left is what you pay yourself. And it looks like that first business with a loss of $31,000. I'll copy this all the way down. But overall, with this suite of businesses, you have $390,201.89. Now that sounds like a good amount to put in your pocket before you have to talk to Uncle Sam about how much you're paying in taxes. So that gives us this whole profile. Let's evaluate some of these businesses. Which one, the lowest amount, which of these had the lowest amount? You can use the minimum formula, min, and that's going to be business A, which had a loss of $31,000. And I'm just curious, let's do the second lowest. If you do that, you'll use a small formula. Small, all of this. Okay, so there's business we lost almost 4,300. That's business E. Now we lost almost 4,300, but the revenue we had was 205,000 coming in. So actually, it didn't lose a whole lot, almost broke even. Same with that one that we lost 31,000. That was about $200,000 of revenue, and that's getting close to being paid off. And your annual payment of 40,000, and so pretty soon so maybe in a few years, if you hold out, it'll be profitable, or if you feel like you need to sell it now. But if you see consistently are operating at a loss, you may want to think of reevaluate if you want to hold on to it or not. But even if you're operating at a loss, it might be worth to hold on to it. If just in a couple of years, you consistently are running at a loss of 31,000, but you have those annual payments of 40,000, those aren't due anymore. And you're at least generating business, providing some jobs. I know that would be a business decision you want to make. So let's see, which one is most profitable? That would be highest. And you'd want to use the max function. Max. There's a business that has $71,000. That is business B. That looks pretty good. And just out of curiosity, what is the second largest? Equals large. It's a large formula. Large formula, the one that has 57,000. So that is like business B. You do pretty well too. Well, there you have it. That was for the creating a profile for businesses. The formulas we used are the concept we used included the VLOOKUP formula. We used the date calculation. We looked at doing a percentage with a formula manipulation. We created some pivot tables. If you didn't do pivot tables, and you did some summit formulas, and that's great. These are a lot of the skills that we've covered throughout this semester. Thank you. I hope this was an enjoyable project for you.